What does it take to make a great movie adapted from a video game? Whatever it does, Warcraft didn't do it. Warcraft is the latest video game to be adapted to film, and stars Toby Kebbell, Paula Patton, Travis Fimmel, Ben Foster, and is directed by Duncan Jones. The movie tells the story of an orc invasion to the land of Azeroth, where humans and a host of other races live. The orc world is dying, and they must leave it in order to survive. The reason their world is dying is because of a magic called the Fel, which draws life out of the world. A powerful orc mage called Gul'dan has harnessed the Fel and uses it to rule over the orc people and convince them to invade Azeroth. For someone who has never played World of Warcraft, I didn't know what kind of story to expect from the film. The trailers had been all over the place in regards to tone, and with some of the early negative buzz, I was worried going in. The film starts with a brief exposition monologue from the orc Durotan. What was impressive about Warcraft was the orc storyline. I related to most of the orc main characters and wanted them to succeed. The CG on the orcs was fantastic, and their look didn't take me out of the film at all. Durotan's story is captivating, and Toby Kebbell does a great job with his motion capture performance. He stole the movie, and is one of, if not the only, saving grace for the film. Duncan Jones makes an extremely bold choice with Durotan's story. Maybe it's not bold if you've played the game, but then it is ruined right after the choice was made. There is no payoff for the choice he makes with Durotan's character. It has very little bearing on the course of the movie after it is made. This is a shame because of the story told up to this point in the film. The orc story, even with the disappointing conclusion, is still leaps and bounds above anything on the human side. Most of the actors who play humans disappoint, but none greater than Ben Foster. I like Ben Foster as an actor. He has been in some great movies and played some great characters in them. He almost completely steals 3:10 to Yuma over Russell Crowe and Christian Bale. His performance in Warcraft as the Guardian is comically bad. I am not sure it is all his fault, because most of his story feels truncated and maybe most of his scenes got cut. His character has zero motivations for the actions he takes during the film, and what he does throughout the film makes no sense. Maybe it will for fans of the game, but that is a fault in the story. Someone who has never played the game should be able to go into the movie and not have questions why a character acts a certain way. It's disappointing because Foster could have been great if used in a different way. Not far behind the comical role Foster plays is another magic user, Kajar, played by Ben Schnitzer, which I probably butchered both those names. He has very little backstory or motivations behind his character either. We know he leaves the Magic Order, but we never find out why. There is more backstory for him than the Guardian, but not much. Most of his line delivery come across as stiff and unbelievable. I'm not sure if this has more to do with writing, his acting, or Duncan Jones directing. He, however, is not alone in coming across as unbelievable within the film. Travis Fimmel plays the main hero Lothar in the film, and while he gives the most competent performance, it still isn't great. At least he comes across as a competent fighter, unlike Dominic Cooper, who plays the king. Which is strange, because Cooper's performance in Preacher has shown he can play a badass. It makes me think that the performances are more on the writing and direction than on the actors. An interesting choice was also made with Cooper's character, the King, which sets up a sequel. If the human storyline hadn't been handled so poorly, I might not have minded them setting up a second film. But it was, and they did, and it was an extremely poor choice. They tried to franchise the property without making sure they made a good film first. Yes, many properties are doing this now, and I'm a major fan of one of them. But there was a basis for Star Wars because of the previous movies. This has none. Since video game movies have never taken off, they should have focused on developing a well put together, contained story first, and then go for the sequel. The way it is set up here is pretentious. There were things to like in Warcraft. Like I said, the orc storyline was well put together, and their motivations were fully developed, aside from Gamora's half-orc, half-human storyline. Paula Patton does a good job in the role, but we find out very little about her backstory, which could have added to the overall human story in the film. The action overall is well done, and the devastation the orcs wreak is impressive. I still can't recommend this movie other than for people who have played the game. I think if you have played the game, then it is probably worth seeing, because you will probably understand the underdeveloped human storyline. If you have never played the game, then it is probably not worth seeing. Wait to watch it for free when it comes to things like HBO or Cinemax, but don't pay for it. A sequel will probably still happen because the film is doing well internationally, but I won't be seeing it if it is released. What did you think of Warcraft if you have seen it? If you have played the game, did the human storyline make sense? Comment and let me know. Like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Thanks for watching.